When a man offers a hug, he is doing something that can often feel difficult in a world that values self-reliance and emotional restraint. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, a liability that leaves one exposed and susceptible to hurt. Yet, when a man embraces you, he is choosing to do exactly the opposite of what society might expect. He is opening himself up. In that moment, he is saying, I am willing to be seen. I am willing to let my guard down, even if just for a brief moment. Vulnerability isn't about weakness, it's about authenticity. It's about acknowledging that as human beings, we have emotions, we experience pain, we feel joy, we need connection, and we sometimes struggle to navigate all of these complex feelings. A hug is an unspoken admission that there's a shared humanity between the two of you, and understanding that we don't have to carry the weight of the world alone. This willingness to be vulnerable requires immense courage, particularly for men who are often socialized to suppress their emotions. To be vulnerable is to defy the expectations that might have been placed upon him, whether those are societal norms, cultural beliefs, or personal fears. A man who offers you a hug is stepping into a space where he is willing to embrace the unknown. He is willing to risk emotional exposure without knowing how it will be received. In essence, vulnerability is not a sign of fragility. Rather, it is a sign of strength, the strength to be open, to be real, and to embrace what it means to truly connect with another person. By offering that hug, he might also be saying that he's comfortable in his own skin, that he doesn't need to hide behind a facade. He doesn't need to maintain an image of stoic invulnerability. He understands that by opening up, he is inviting you to share in a deeper, more genuine moment together. That act is in itself an invitation for mutual vulnerability, where both people can drop their pretenses and simply be human in each other's presence. It's a reminder that being vulnerable with others can be one of the most powerful ways to build trust and intimacy, to create a space where both people can share their full selves without fear of judgment. A hug, then, isn't just a physical embrace, it is a form of emotional and psychological strength. It's a powerful statement of trust in the other person, and trust in the power of the connection that is being forged in that very moment. It is a recognition that vulnerability isn't something to be feared, but something to be cherished. When a man gives you a hug, you can be sure that in that fleeting embrace, he is allowing you to see his truest self, stripped of any pretense or protective armor. That's an incredibly powerful and precious gift. When a man gives you a hug, it's more than just a casual gesture of physical affection. It is an act that transcends the surface level and communicates something far deeper. It is his way of saying, I see you, I acknowledge what you're going through, and I am here for you. This simple act holds within it a vast well of emotional support, offering a silent but profound message that you are not alone. In a world that often prioritizes practical solutions over emotional understanding, a hug becomes an expression of empathy and care. It says, I might not have the answers to solve your problems, but I can be with you in your struggle. I can stand beside you as you face whatever you're going through. Emotional support is not about providing solutions, it's about being present, offering a sense of understanding, and letting the other person know that their feelings matter. And when a man offers you a hug, it's his way of conveying that message without needing to say a word. Sometimes words fail us. They might feel insufficient to articulate the depth of what we are experiencing. When facing emotional turmoil, grief, or uncertainty, people often find themselves searching for words that can help ease the weight of their burdens. But the reality is words are not always enough. A hug, however, is a powerful form of support because it bypasses the need for words altogether and instead focuses on presence. It tells you that someone is there, physically and emotionally, standing with you, sharing in your experience. It's a reminder that there is more to life than simply figuring things out sometimes. It's about showing up for each other quietly and without expectation. When a man embraces you, it also signals that he is not afraid to meet you where you are emotionally. He doesn't feel the need to fix you or change your feelings. He understands that emotional support is not about altering your state of mind, but about allowing you the space to feel what you need to feel. By offering a hug, he is signaling that he respects your emotional experience, whether you are sad, anxious, excited, or even confused. His hug is an unspoken permission for you to fully inhabit your feelings without judgment or pressure to move past them. This emotional support is also an expression of trust. A man who hugs you is often signaling that he trusts you enough to be present in your emotional landscape and that he is willing to let down his own walls to offer his compassion and care. Vulnerability and emotional support go hand in hand. He is allowing you to lean on him without fear of rejection, without the pressure of needing to perform or mask what you're going through. It is an invitation to be authentic and unguarded, knowing that this support comes without expectations or conditions. His embrace is a safe harbor in a sea of uncertainty. Moreover, a hug is a reminder that we are not isolated in our emotional experiences. When we face difficult times, it can often feel as though we are alone with our pain or our burdens. But the simple act of a hug is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is someone there who cares. It might be a momentary act, but in that moment, you are seen, you are valued, and you are not expected to face the world on your own. In offering emotional support, a hug also strengthens the bond between two people. It is a reaffirmation of the connection that exists between them. When we go through challenges, the people around us, whether friends, family, or even acquaintances, serve as our emotional anchors, providing us with the strength we need to continue moving forward. A hug is a tactile manifestation of that bond, an emotional connection that says, I'm with you, even when words cannot fully convey the depth of that sentiment. Ultimately, the act of giving a hug in times of need is a silent declaration that love and support don't always require grand gestures. Sometimes it's the small, simple acts, the ones that come from the heart, that hold the most power. So when a man gives you a hug, you can be sure that it's not just a physical touch, but an offering of his emotional presence, his care, and his unwavering support. When a man offers you a hug, it's more than just a physical gesture. It is a powerful statement about the importance he places on human connection. In a world where isolation, disconnection, and loneliness are becoming increasingly common, a hug represents a recognition of the vital need we all have for relationships that are deep, meaningful, and emotionally fulfilling. It is a reminder that, at the core of human existence, we thrive when we are seen, heard, and understood by others. A hug is a bridge between two people. It is an acknowledgement that despite the differences in our backgrounds, experiences, and circumstances, there is a shared humanity that connects us. By offering a hug, a man is saying, I value the bond we share. I recognize that my emotional well-being is deeply linked to yours, and that in moments of joy or sorrow, we are intertwined in this journey together. It is a recognition that no one is truly alone in this world, and that by connecting with others, we find strength, solace, and meaning. In a society where many people are consumed by work, technology, or their own individual pursuits, the act of hugging transcends these distractions and brings two people into a present moment of shared warmth and empathy. A man who offers a hug understands that human connection isn't just a luxury, it's a fundamental need. Our emotional and psychological health is nourished by the relationships we cultivate, and a hug is a simple yet profound way of reinforcing that bond. To value human connection is to understand that it goes beyond superficial interactions. In our fast-paced world, it can be easy to mistake the act of being around others with genuine connection. However, meaningful human connection involves presence, empathy, and mutual respect. When a man gives you a hug, it is an invitation to be more than just in proximity to one another. It's an invitation to engage in a deeper, more authentic exchange. It's an acknowledgement that the time spent together, the physical touch, and the emotional exchange are all a vital part of what it means to truly be human. A man who values human connection recognizes that the quality of his relationships has a direct impact on his sense of fulfillment and happiness. It is easy to get caught up in external markers of success, career achievements, financial gain, or material possessions. But the truth is, it is the relationships we build, the people we care about, and the way we love and support each other that truly enrich our lives. A hug is an expression of that deeper truth. It is an acknowledgement that the most meaningful moments in life are often the simplest ones, spent with others who make us feel seen and understood. Human connection, however, is not just about receiving, it is also about giving. When a man offers you a hug, it's not just about seeking comfort for himself, it's about offering that comfort to you too. He values the reciprocal nature of human relationships, the understanding that the bonds we form are built on both giving and receiving. The act of hugging is a shared experience, a mutual exchange of energy, warmth, and emotional presence. It's a reminder that relationships are not one-sided, they are dynamic and evolving, built on the foundation of mutual care and respect. Furthermore, a man who values human connection understands that each hug holds the potential for deep emotional exchange. A hug isn't just a physical embrace, it's a way of communicating feelings that words alone cannot express. It says, I care about you, I am here for you, and I cherish our bond. A hug communicates that the relationship is valued and that the other person is not just an afterthought or a convenience, but someone whose presence adds genuine value to his life. In many ways, a hug becomes a tangible manifestation of love, trust, and empathy. It breaks through the barriers of isolation and loneliness that so often separate people from one another. It tells the other person that they matter, that they are worthy of love and affection, and that the connection between you is worth honoring. By offering this physical gesture, a man reaffirms his commitment to the relationship, showing that he is not only interested in what the other person can offer him, but also in what he can offer them. In a world that sometimes feels disconnected, a hug is a powerful reminder of the importance of human connection. It is a call to slow down, to put down the distractions, and to be present with one another. When a man gives you a hug, you can be sure that he values the relationship you share and recognizes the profound impact that human connection has on the quality of life. In that embrace, he is telling you that no matter how busy life gets, no matter how much the world may change, the connection between you is something worth nurturing and cherishing. Ultimately, the act of giving a hug is a recognition of our shared vulnerability and a reaffirmation of our shared humanity. It is an acknowledgement that despite all the complexities and challenges of life, it is love, empathy, and connection that truly sustain us. A man who values human connection knows this truth at his core, and his hug is a tangible reminder that in this vast, often overwhelming world, the bonds we form with one another are what truly make us feel whole. When a man offers you a hug, it's a powerful demonstration of his understanding that emotional expression is not something to shy away from or suppress. In a world where emotions are often seen as vulnerabilities or signs of fragility, a hug from a man is an act of defiance against these outdated perceptions. It is an acknowledgement that real strength comes from the ability to fully express, understand, and share our feelings with others. True emotional resilience is not found in the suppression of our emotions, but in our ability to confront them, express them, and use them as a means to connect with others. For many men, expressing emotions can feel difficult due to societal expectations that emphasize stoicism and emotional restraint. From a young age, many men are taught to toughen up, to hide their tears, and to suppress anything that might be perceived as weakness. But in reality, the act of embracing one's emotions is an act of profound courage. It takes a great deal of strength to be honest about what we feel, to open ourselves up to others, and to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Emotional expression requires a willingness to confront the complexities of our inner world and share it with someone else, trusting that our vulnerability will be met with empathy and understanding. When a man gives you a hug, he is often offering a glimpse into his emotional world, revealing that he is unafraid to show what lies beneath the surface. It's a statement that emotional honesty is not something to hide or deny, it is something to be proud of. By embracing his own emotions and offering this physical form of connection, he is demonstrating that expressing love, pain, joy, sadness, or even fear is part of what makes us fully human. Emotions are not something to fear or control, they are a vital part of who we are. And when we allow ourselves to experience and express them, we grow in emotional intelligence and maturity. Understanding that emotional expression is a strength is also about recognizing the power of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, as well as the emotions of others, is often considered one of the most important aspects of building meaningful relationships. A man who gives a hug is signaling that he is emotionally attuned both to himself and to the person he is embracing. He is not afraid to acknowledge the complexities of his emotions or to share them openly. And in doing so, he invites a deeper connection with others. Furthermore, the act of hugging communicates that emotions, whether positive or negative, are not burdens to be avoided, but opportunities for growth and connection. When a man expresses his feelings, whether through words or actions, he is allowing himself to be authentic and real. He is not pretending to be someone he is not, but instead he is embracing the full spectrum of his emotional experience. And in that authenticity, he finds a greater sense of strength. There is a quiet power in allowing ourselves to be seen as we truly are, without masks, without shields. This is not a sign of weakness, it is a reflection of emotional bravery. A hug is also an act of emotional generosity. When a man offers this gesture, he is sharing his emotional presence with you. He is offering comfort, reassurance, and warmth without the need for words. It's a way of saying, I am here with you, I understand, and I care. By expressing his emotions, he opens the door for deeper connection and trust, allowing the other person to feel comfortable doing the same. Emotional expression creates a space where both people can share their inner worlds without judgment, fostering empathy and mutual understanding. It is in this space that true emotional intimacy can flourish. Moreover, by embracing emotional expression, a man also creates a healthier and more balanced relationship with his own feelings. Many men are conditioned to hide their emotions, to bottle them up until they eventually explode in a moment of frustration or anger. However, when a man learns to embrace his emotions in real time, when he expresses them in healthy, constructive ways, he is taking steps toward emotional self-regulation. He is no longer controlled by his emotions. Instead, he is able to face them with clarity and perspective. This leads to greater emotional well-being, a deeper sense of self-awareness, and ultimately stronger relationships with others. The belief that emotional expression is a strength, not a weakness, also extends to the way a man responds to the emotions of others. When a man offers you a hug, he is signaling that he is not only willing to be vulnerable himself, but also that he is willing to meet you where you are emotionally. He is saying that your feelings, whether of joy, sorrow, or anything in between, are valid and worthy of attention. It is an invitation for you to share your own emotional experience, knowing that you will be met with acceptance and understanding. This kind of emotional generosity creates a safe space for both people to explore and express their feelings without fear of judgment or rejection. Ultimately, when a man gives you a hug, it is a clear reminder that emotional expression is not something to hide or repress, it is something to embrace with pride and strength. Emotional expression is not about being weak or fragile, it is about being fully human, fully alive, and fully present with others. It takes immense courage to be vulnerable, to express your emotions honestly, and to share those emotions with someone else. In that hug, he is showing that he understands this truth that true strength lies not in hiding our emotions, but in allowing them to be felt, shared, and honored. It is an act of emotional power, an invitation to connect more deeply, and a celebration of the beautiful, messy, and complex experience of being human. In conclusion, the simple yet profound act of a man giving you a hug speaks volumes about who he is and the values he holds dear. It reveals that he is willing to be vulnerable, to expose his true self without fear of judgment. It shows that he wants to offer emotional support, not just as a passive observer, but as an active participant in your journey, reminding you that you are never alone. It reflects his deep appreciation for human connection, acknowledging that the bonds we share are the foundation of our emotional well-being. And most importantly, it demonstrates that he understands the true power of emotional expression, recognizing that sharing his feelings is not a weakness, but a sign of strength, courage, and authenticity. A hug is more than just a physical gesture. It is a powerful declaration of trust, empathy, and emotional bravery. It is an invitation to connect deeply, to share in each other's joys and sorrows, and to grow together as human beings. In a world that often emphasizes emotional restraint and self-sufficiency, a hug reminds us of the importance of embracing our vulnerability and the strength that lies in our ability to be open, honest, and present with one another. So, the next time a man gives you a hug, understand that it is far more than just a gesture. It is a quiet, yet meaningful expression of his respect, care, and emotional strength. And in that embrace, you can be sure that you are being seen, heard, and valued in ways that words alone cannot fully capture. It is a reminder that, despite the complexities and challenges we face, the most powerful and lasting connections are forged not through perfection, but through the honesty and vulnerability that come from sharing our truest selves. This conclusion wraps up the core ideas of the speech, reinforcing the emotional depth and significance of the act of hugging while leaving the audience with a lasting thought about human connection and emotional openness. Let me know if you'd like any further refinements.